Welcome listeners. So nice to have you all here with us on this lovely winter's day. I think we need to start with the big news of the day.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
You saw it.
I saw it. Who didn't see it? Everyone saw it. Everyone's talking about it. Tobias
Glover. And can I just say, I felt so bad for him.
I'm just devastated for him. And his future wife. She must be going through it. Imagine, just picture the scene. You see those photos. You know that some crazy fan has sent these photos to him.
We know what fans are like nowadays.
I mean, on this podcast, you know, we always say it. Body positivity. Yeah, body positivity. Are you taking those photos and then sending them when you've got, I'm going to say it, very little to see?
Sorry. I didn't realise it was Pancake Day.
No.
You know, maybe
shots fired.
0.5 I would have taken that with.
Yeah, I mean, it needed a better lens.
A better lens.
Talking
about better, let's have a word from our sponsors, BetterHelp.
BetterHelp. If you need to reach out, get something off your chest. Let's not talk about chests. Get something off your chest. BetterHelp are there to help you. And I think this is a word to everyone. Don't take those pictures. Don't send them.
Don't have your face in them.
Jesus.
You failed the test.
What?
You're not meant to be looking at your phone, remember? Social media detox.
You called me 3 times and I hung up twice.
It was all part of the test. Your phone should be off. What you need is self-care. Have you been doing yoga?
Why would I be doing yoga right now?
Or relaxation, obviously. Did you see those reels I sent you yesterday?
Oh no, because I'm on a social media detox apparently.
Oh shit, yeah.
Anyway, yoga just doesn't relax me. I just get really angry when I can't do certain moves like touching my toes.
You can't touch your toes?
My self-esteem is low enough as it is. You are not helping.
Have you spoken to Tobias yet?
Why would I talk to Tobias?
Well, you know, I thought he'd at least say something to you. Are you okay? It's okay if you're not, you know.
I think I'm gonna go. I'm sorry. Bye. You know, I think my favourite comment so far was from Reddit. One night I found myself scrolling through this thread of incels, analysing my pictures. Great pastime, by the way. Highly recommend. And amongst all the shit, there was this one absolute gem.
Well, at least her feet aren't in any of the pictures. So when she inevitably loses her job and goes into the red, she'll still have other pictures to sell.
2.4k upvotes. Jesus Christ. I only made one post responding to the drama. I called this whole situation a witch hunt against me, which it is, and said that the people who are still sharing the images are the scum of the earth, which they are. First reply.
Using emotive and violent terms such as witch hunt to describe your situation is actually really problematic. Okay. It is unkind to the real victims of the Salem witch trials of 1681. Those people were murdered. You are being called out for sexting a taken man.
Genuinely thought I was having an aneurysm. I did reply to that one. The trials were in 1691, actually. Felt really smug about it. Until somebody replied saying, no, actually in 1692. Fucking Twitter. And yes, I still call it Twitter. Anyone who calls it X or anything like that, I'm sorry, but you are a loser, and that is a hill that I will die on. I mean, it's been fantastic for my mental health, seeing all these strangers analysing the situation online, thinking they've got the story all figured out. People are literally fabricating shit and presenting it as fact. Then you've got the really fun comments about the way my face looks and how my body looks. Questioning why he would choose someone like me over someone like Beverly Wilson. The thing is, he did want me. Once. He said he did. He made me believe that he did. In school, we came from entirely different friendship circles. His was big and loud and popular, whereas mine was mostly just me. I knew of him, obviously. Doubt he knew too much about me. And then I got invited to my first ever house party. 17 years old. That's how popular I was. I got myself so worked up on the week leading up to it. I've got this really weird anxiety thing where even now, when I'm literally invited to an event, I am convinced I was only invited as a joke or out of pity. Like I'm going to show up to the door and the host is going to be like, oh, hey, you came. You actually came. Now I like to say that I got there and I relaxed, had a few drinks, made some new friends, but I sat through the door and I immediately panicked. So, grabbed myself a drink, or two, 5. And whilst everyone was chatting away, dancing, playing games, I just sat in the corner with the cat. 2 minutes later, the cat got up and left too. My charisma truly knows no bounds. After a while, I tried to stand up, and I immediately black out. It was only 9 p.m. I didn't have time to lock the door. And at some point, somebody walks in and presents me with a plate of bread. And just leaves it on the floor next to me. Like I'm a sad, starving fox. After a while, I struggle to stand up. Room is spinning like crazy. I stumble over to the door and he's there. He's standing there, leaning against the wall. He's very relaxed, isn't he? Oh, fucking hell, he's there. I can't let him know that I've thrown up, so I deliver an Oscar-worthy performance. Hey, Tobias. Hey, I fancy seeing you here. Hey! I'm convinced he hasn't noticed. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I was just hanging out in the bathroom. By myself. This is a great party. You were in there for like an hour. Are you sure you're okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm really fine. I'm absolutely fine. I just feel like I fuck everything up. Like I'm a walking, talking disaster, you know? And I don't blame everyone at school for hating me. Because I hate myself too. Well, at least I didn't tell him that I threw up because that would have been embarrassing. He stares at me. Stared at me for a long time. I remember him gently taking my hand and leading me down the corridor. Opened the first door he saw. He helped me onto the bed. And then left. I slept. At one point he came back in with a glass of water with ice, asking me how I'm feeling, am I going to be okay getting home, does he need to call me an Uber? I just about get out my address, and he offers to come into the Uber with me. And I know for a fact he lives in the other end of town, but he insists. Totally not awkward at all. After what felt like the longest car ride journey ever, we reached my house. And he walked me to my door, helped me inside, and then went home. When it all came flooding back to me the next day, I cringed beyond belief. No doubt he's already told all his friends about my little performance. Couldn't bear the thought of going to school on Monday. It's a Snapchat message from him. I didn't even know he had me on Snapchat. He asked me if I was okay. I lied and said yes, I am. I said I was sorry for getting myself into such a state. He said it was fine. It's normal. And he promised not to tell anyone. He still didn't acknowledge me too much at school, but we would message occasionally. In sixth form prom, we ended up dancing together. Tipsy from the really shitty Prosecco that was provided for us. I didn't feel embarrassed or awkward or anything. It felt nice. I actually had fun. And then afterwards he told me that someone was having an after party at their house and did I want to come. I mumbled something about how I wasn't really sure because, I'd never spoken to this person before and technically I wasn't really invited, so... But I'm inviting you. I went. And everyone was already off their face by the time we got there, but I promised myself, not this time. This time I was going to be sensible. Have 1 or 2 ciders, drink a glass of water before I leave. It was a weeknight, so I couldn't miss the last bus home. Maybe I'll be in bed by 1. 4 tequila shots later, I kissed him. And needless to say, I missed the last bus home. Tragic. He then suggested that we should go out for a walk. It was 2 a.m. It was warm. We held hands and laughed. I imagine it would have been really romantic if I wasn't staggering around like a knobhead. Then he called an Uber for me, waited with me. Such a gent. And then when the Uber arrived, he asked me, "Can I come home with you?" Every fibre of my being wants to say yes, but common sense kicked in. I told him no, I'm tired and I just want to go home and sleep. And he didn't look disappointed or anything. He said that was okay and just to message when I was home safe. That was the last time I saw him in person. 4 years ago. Almost to the day. I remember the first time he asked me to send him a picture. He reassured me that it was a normal thing to do and that I could trust him, but I still wasn't really sure. And he said that was fine, he wouldn't pressure me or make me feel bad, and that was true. The first few times. After a while, I could feel his responses being more short, cold. I could tell he was getting bored, that he thought I was too frigid. I used to feel so lucky to have someone like him in my life. But then, after a while, I just felt lucky to even get his attention. We were never even exclusive, like we never even dated, but it still hurt me when he just gave me one-word responses or didn't reply for hours or left me on red. But then every now and then he would message me completely out of the blue, charming, knowing exactly what to say to draw me back in. He'd go on about this new short film he was working on, how excited he was for it to be released. Didn't really sound like my thing, to be honest. Sounded like one of those artsy, pretentious, borderline narcissistic passion projects. And I watched it on YouTube. And I was absolutely right. But the whole world just absolutely ate it up. It went viral. His following exploded. Next thing I know, these small but mighty film companies are messaging him, asking him to turn it into a feature film. It was surreal. When the fame hit, he felt even more out of my reach. Untouchable. So it didn't surprise me when our daily conversations turned into weekly ones to monthly. One year, the only time we messaged each other was when I wished him happy birthday. He didn't wish me one. I thought I was fine with it. Like I said, we never even dated. But then it hit me. Really hit me. Tobias Glover spotted in Central Park the new influencer girlfriend Beverly Wilson. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but it did. I think it was seeing the photos of them together looking so happy, the way he looked at her in some of those images. I remembered that night after prom. One night I found myself scrolling through her Instagram page. She really was very beautiful. Long blonde hair, piercing green eyes, perfectly sculpted eyebrows. I found myself desperately searching for any flaws on her face. She had a small mole on the left side of her nose and a scar under her right eye, but if anything, they enhanced her face even more. In one of the photos, she's got no makeup on, bravely standing up against unattainable beauty standards. And somehow she looks even better. I deleted his number. Not that I expected him to call. And I cried myself to sleep that night. Pathetic. One night I got a call at 2 a.m. It was from an unknown number. Who gets spam calls at this time of night? I thought of just declining it, but I thought maybe it was an emergency. There's a weird sniffling sound at the other end. It's just about to hang up when I just hear, "It's me." I knew straight away who it was. He was obviously crying and drunk. "You're the only person I can talk to about this." He opened up to me about how unhappy he was feeling, his anxieties, his regrets, how his seemingly perfect relationship wasn't so perfect after all. He suspected that Beverly was cheating on him. Couldn't remember why I felt so upset with him in the first place. And then he asked me, "Do you ever wonder what would have happened if I'd gone home with you after prom?" I wonder all the time, but I don't tell him that. I remind him that he's drunk and he should probably go and get some sleep before he says something he regrets, or before I do. I miss you. I hung up the phone. I immediately wish that I hadn't. About a month later, I had a really, really shitty day working at a cafe in central London. You know how it is sometimes. All the customers were just dickheads. I had one of them genuinely ask me, yes, could you please tell me the difference between a regular and a large latte? Should have had in my notice and then, to be honest. I remember it was 10 minutes before closing time. It was finally empty. So I started my cleaning tasks early. I couldn't wait to just go home and relax. So I was thinking about what I was going to watch on Netflix, what I was going to eat. You have got to be joking me. This gorgeous woman comes marching in, talking loudly and obnoxiously on her phone, comes up to the counter and doesn't look up. Hi, what can I get you? I say in my best customer service voice. She looks at me. I'm sorry. How rude of me. Patiently wait for her to finish her clearly very, very important conversation. 7 minutes to closing time. Finally, she hangs up and looks up. Medium vanilla latte with almond milk. Okay, medium vanilla latte with almond milk. Yep, I've got it. She's staring daggers at me. Last time I came here, your colleague gave me cow's milk, which made me feel very, very unwell. I have a large following on social media, so I could have kicked up a fuss, but I chose not to. So if you could just do your job and give me exactly what I asked for, that would be great. I've suddenly realised who she is. Blonde hair, green eyes, mole on the left side of her nose. I mumble a generic apology and reassure her I will use cow's milk. Or almond milk. She taps her phone onto the card reader, and I watch her march over to the other side of the cafe. She gets comfortable on the sofa and plugs her phone into the wall. 5 minutes to closing time. I decide that this is bullshit, and I'm not having it. Hi, we actually close at 6. And what time is it now? It's 5:55. So you're still open for another 5 minutes? Yeah, but we won't be soon, so I'm just letting you know. Like, she looks at me like I am shit under her shoe. I actually feel my blood go cold. You know, maybe next time you should use your head instead of your mouth. I take a moment to look around the cafe, desperately searching for who the fuck she was talking to like that. I make her a small latte. I forget the vanilla and the milk cartons. Oh, the milk cartons. Well, they just all look so similar when they're lined up against each other. And it just so happens that I've lost the ability to read. Almond milk. C-O-W. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. I bring the cup over to her table. I slam it down in front of her. Flecks of coffee splash out and decorate her little white coat. Her face is priceless. I lean in close and I say, I hope you shit yourself to death, you silly little bitch. Of course, this all happens entirely in my head. What I actually did was much worse. I make her a medium vanilla latte. I use almond milk. I bring it over to her table. She stays 5 minutes after closing time. Doesn't say a word as she leaves. I went home. I got drunk. I messaged him. I said I wanted him. He said he wanted me. I believed him. I sent the pictures that night. I wish I could say it only happened one time, but it didn't. And I wish I could say that I was drunk the second time as well, but I wasn't. And then one day the messages just stopped and I felt dirty, the panic set in. What the fuck have I done? Occasionally I would type messages out to him, some angry and resentful, others more friendly and casual, like nothing had ever happened, but my hands, they were always too shaky to press send. There's an Instagram post of the two of them. They're smiling at the camera. She's holding up her left hand. A diamond ring is enveloping her finger. I said yes. It's really true what they say. You get so much braver behind the safety of a screen. So I let him have it. I lie and I tell him that I hated him, that I wish I had never met him, that I wish I'd never gone to that stupid party after prom. And this time I press send.
Mm.
7 hours later, I get a reply. I don't think you would have sent me those photos if you really hated me. Seems like you put real effort into them. I tell him that he needed to delete them. You don't need to worry about those photos, but just remember, I am not the one who made you take your clothes off and sit in front of that mirror. I am not the one who made you press send. That was all you. You chose to do that for me. So I remind him that a month ago, he was the one who called me crying. He was the one who told me about how upset he was feeling. He was the one who said that he missed me, that he wondered what would have happened if we'd gone home together after prom. I already know what would have happened. We'd gone home together after prom, we would have had sex. And it would have been boring and disappointing because you definitely would have been too scared to do anything fucking interesting. Then I would have gone home and I would have never thought about you again. That was almost a year ago. And I'd almost forgotten. Almost moved on. Almost. Hello?
Babe, are you okay?
What?
Are you okay?
What do you mean, am I okay? Are you okay? What's happened? Okay, you can't just call me out of the blue, freaking out, and not tell me what's going on. What's happened?
It's Tobias. Someone hacked into his socials the other day and released a bunch of stuff. There's texts and pictures of you, so I just wanted to make sure you're okay, you know. Are you still there? Hello?
They're there. They're all there. I spend the next few days scrolling. I read every hate comment. I watch every TikTok, listen to every podcast. I go deeper. I discover AI-edited photos of me, comments from his more vicious, jealous, obsessed fans, threats of what they would do to me if they saw me in the street. Some wish cancer on me. More horrible comments telling me to hurt myself or worse. Someone's posted the name of my sister's school. She's 10 years old. Obviously, I report it, but I can't decide whether to report it for inciting terrorism or for just, exposing personal information. I don't know, maybe the terrorist one will make it get taken down quicker. I know I need to be more rational, but I can't exactly tell people to just mass report it because that'll just draw more attention to it, and I don't know what to do. I feel like my phone is going to explode from the notifications of the hate. People trying to send their support as well. You know what the really shitty part is? The only person that I want to hear from is him. I don't know what I want him to say, that he's sorry, something to show that he still cares about me, like even a little bit, that what's happening to me is awful and that I don't deserve it despite what I did. I wonder if it'll ever end. About a month later, there's an Instagram post from him. It's a wall of text on a white background. I am deeply saddened and disturbed by what I have seen circulating online. About a month ago, somebody hacked into my socials and exposed my biggest regret. Last year, my personal life was a mess, and I made some reckless decisions. One of them being to betray the absolute love of my life. I confessed my infidelity to Beverly straight away, and I've been working tirelessly to rebuild her trust. I would like to take this opportunity to publicly apologise to her. I deeply regret the humiliation this has caused her. As for the other woman in question, I have not spoken to her since the incident. However, I would like to ask everyone not to interact with those images of her anymore. Please remember that she is also a human being. This is all I wish to say on this matter. Please respect myself and Beverly's privacy during this time. You fucker. You absolute fucker. You couldn't even say my name. Is that all I am to you, the other woman? Well, hey, at least Beverly got her apology right. The humiliation that she must be feeling. My God, poor Beverly. What about me? What about my humiliation? Where's my apology? I told you to delete those images. I told you that I wasn't okay with you keeping them, and you said that I didn't need to worry about it. You said that it was my decision. You made me feel like it was my fault, like you didn't guilt trip me, make me feel weird for not wanting to send them to you. My 10-year-old sister was threatened over these. I had to file multiple police reports because of you! And all I get for dealing with this shit for months on end is that. You made me go through this shit alone, so don't you fucking dare act like you had any respect for me. I open up the comments, expecting all hell to break loose. Part of me hopes it does. But he's clearly just turned on comments for approval. Fucking coward. I did think this was going too far. It was just pictures. It's not like you had sex with her. We forgive you. Well, as long as they've all forgiven him, that makes it okay, doesn't it? And somehow it does. Everyone's found a new flawed human being to villainize online. No one is sorry. But I wonder if I could look all those people in the eye, what would I say to them? Did you enjoy the witch hunt? Were you entertained by the drama?
Oh, yes.
Did you feel good about telling me that the world would be a better place without me in it? That I was a worthless human being? Can you really say that my sister deserved to feel unsafe at school for a mistake that I made? You might wonder, if I could, what would I say to him? And I'd say thank you. Thank you for just reminding everyone that I am a human being. I just wish that they weren't empty words to cover your back. Because you sure as hell didn't treat me like one. Anyway, I hope you all had fun. I really do. Bye.